Hey y'all, hey, welcome to another episode of Coffee and Collaborations podcast. I am your host, Kimberly Winborn of Kimberly Winborn LLC, and of course, Coffee and Collaborations Media, joined by my co-host, Al the Great of Good Steward Apparel. And I want Al to tell you guys a little bit about Good Steward Apparel. It's been a while, and so for those of you who are just joining us today, I absolutely love it. And I told him, we got to shine light on what you're doing in the community through that organization. So Al, if you can introduce yourself and tell them a little bit more about Good Steward Apparel, and then we'll move on with the show and our special guest.
All right. Hello, CNC family. Again, my name is Al the Great. I am the CEO of Good Steward Apparel and lead designer of Good Steward Apparel brands, which makes up No Robots Streetwear, Good Steward Apparel, which is casual, and B Athletics Unlimited, which is athletics and loungewear. So we are three brands that focus all on one mission of changing the culture. And when I say the culture, I mean putting tribe before self, because that is truly what our purpose is. Whether it be in a collaboration or whether it be what we do on our everyday lives, it's about putting the tribe before ourselves so all of us can, be successful. And that's what's going to make things better. Right now, we are doing multiple campaigns. We are doing Inspire Hope, which we are selling masks, face masks, and also donating a portion to organizations that are still in need of face masks. We are also focusing on, fighting racism. With the United Front. That is a multi-brand collaboration with about 4 other brands. And all of us have come together to spread one message with one design, all in a way to rally the troops and really, fight racism, because that is holding us back from a lot, especially from unique and effective collaborations between races, between cultures, between everyone, because it's about, having the best person for the job, not just the person that is around you, which racism also, kind of, it gives us that issue of you not working with everybody, but you're working with the people that are around you. And sometimes that's of the same race or same color.
Right. Yeah. So I'm excited about all that he's doing in the community, and I'm excited to have him as my co-host. It's been about 2 months now since he joined.
By. Yeah. It's flying by.
Yeah, it's about 2 months or so since he joined the Coffee and Collaborations team. Coffee and Collaborations has been going since April of 2018. Coffee and Collaborations is a platform for entrepreneurs to come and get tips, education, inspiration from the guests that we have. Also myself, my background is business networking. My background is English communications. So I really love helping people to understand kind of what Al said about your tribe. You can attract your tribe instead of having to chase them through building relationships. If we get back to the business of building relationships, then we can understand and create collaborations, understand the value of them, and move our businesses forward. What do I have that I can't share with you? There's really nothing. And if we all have that same mindset of servant leadership, then we can move forward faster, and so can our communities. And so that's what Coffee and Collaborations is all about. And this month, we're excited. It's July. It's hot, and hot again. But yes. July should be, right? Especially here in North Carolina. It's simmering. Don't get it twisted. So we are excited to have Kaela. And I met her back in September or so of last year, and she was just a ball of energy. This month, we're focusing on health is wealth. And so we have an amazing guest. This past week, we had Alvin Miles as our guest. And this week, we have Kaela. We may have some more joining us. And then next week, we'll have someone else. So a slew of experts that can give us wellness tips, tricks, all that good stuff. So welcome, Kaela.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for having me, Kimberly. And yes, my name, I was literally like spitting on my hands the whole introduction. I'm like ready for this.
Yes, well, tell us about your business because you are in health, fitness, and wellness. So tell us a little about your business.
All the things. So I currently am a wellness coach, and that's pretty much like a hybrid between a life coach, and a personal trainer. So we don't just cover the fitness stuff, we cover all the things. I like to tell people that working out by yourself is really boring. So I kind of help people look and feel like Beyonce, like.
All right. Everybody wants to like Beyonce.
That's okay. Right. And you want to feel like her too.
Yeah.
So just in case you don't want to look like a woman, you can feel that great. Like, it's fine. But yes, my goal is to essentially to help you refill your wellness.
Yeah.
In a lot of the time we get busy, caught up, distracted. And a lot of those times because of that, you get stressed and you get pent up with all kinds of just unrelinquished tension within your body. So I help you to relieve that tension in a really fun, positive, and yes, hardworking way. But I mean, it doesn't feel like work when you're having fun. So I try to make it super fun, goofy, not serious. You'll never have to do anything on your own, meaning like I'm gonna sweat with you. So if you're doing push-ups, I'm doing push-ups. So you don't have to worry about feeling awkward on the ground while I stand over you and count. You know what I mean?
We all love that.
Okay. You can pay your 5-year-old to do that. Like, no.
Right.
So when I say we're in this together, we're really in this together. It's a journey that I believe is not only important, but it's definitely necessary in this time of history,
Yeah. Yeah. How did you get into the business? Like, how did you start this journey?
Man, this is a fun story. So I was, just to kind of give you the background, I was engaged at the time to a really sweet guy, ended up not working out. He actually introduced me to fitness in general. He was a Raleigh cop at the time, and he clearly had to be fit to do his specific job, right? He had to actually like taste the bag. We would go to the gym often, and that was our way of bonding. Well, things don't work out, and in order for me to get over that, I used the gym to kind of, release that tension and that heartbreak and that frustration. So I ended up meeting a really cool friend named Vanessa. She was like, you should totally be a bodybuilder. And then I started becoming a bodybuilder.
Wow.
I was a bodybuilder for 3 years. Girl, I was fit. Like, but what I learned throughout that bodybuilding journey, because I started off at like 98 pounds soaking wet, and I went all the way up to about 135 pounds of just muscle. And I did my first show, lost, cried so hard. But then I kept going, and I learned that I stopped caring about what I looked like, and I started caring about how I felt.
Yeah.
I felt like a warrior. I felt strong. I felt beautiful in a way that no one else could take it away from me,
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I could have my hair wrapped up, no eyebrows on, lashes gone, and still look in the mirror.
No eyebrows on.
Okay.
Oh, the ladies understand. The women watching. Oh yeah.
And still look at these guns and be like, your girl is killing it. So it changed my perspective on beauty. It's no longer this. It's this, like what I can do for myself. I can lift this. I can push that. I can open this jar. Like, it was great. But that transcended into 2 years ago, how I started my business. Oh man. I was walking with my dog. This is the craziest story ever, guys, and I love telling it because this is just like, it's got God all over. Walking my dog, and we're walking down the road. This guy had his dog off a leash in the neighborhood. Mine, this was like 3 years ago. The dog had dogs off a leash. I was like, oh, it's cool. Called out. I was like, hey, is it cool if we walk by? He said, yeah, it's cool. Walked by, the dog jumped on my dog, and I got in the middle of it. I was like, no. Chance by the time 12 years old man dog. I was like, you're not going to kill him now. Like, we're not doing this. So I got in the middle of it, and the dog ended up letting go of my dog and grabbed on my arm. 22 stitches, 5 staples later, I had to retire from bodybuilding completely. Devastated, upset. I couldn't compete. Obviously had to sue the guy because dog completely ended my career as a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
And from that point, I couldn't stay out of the gym. I was like, I gotta do something. People would see me, they'd be like, hey, can you help me with this? Because I'd literally just go in there because I didn't know what else to do. That was my that was my thing. That was who I was. That was my safety net. So I would go in there, and a couple of friends would be like, hey, you know, we'd love for you to be here. Can you just help us with this stuff? And I'm like, absolutely. So I went in there with my cast, you know, like walking around, and lo and behold, people started recognizing me as just the girl that helped out. So then fast forward, because I was out of work for like 2 months, mind you, I was a project coordinator for an ERP company. They were like, oh, you got to go, baby. You've been off of work too long. We're going to put you on a pit.
I've never heard somebody tell a firing story with so much, they were like, girl, you have been off too long. Much enthusiasm, but go ahead.
I'm to find out, I come back from the lunch break, HR manager comes in, she's like, hey, we need to talk. I was like, okay. So she's like, hey, so you have 2 choices. Either you go on a PIP 30 days, we're going to fire you anyway, or you sign this, get a severance. And because she's, you know, we're cool. She's completely cover HR hat. She was like, I'm going to tell you what it is. And I was like, give me the pen. Where do I sign?
So do I sign now? Severance. Yeah.
Oh, honey. And that's what started my business.
Awesome.
All of the people that found out that I got let go at that job became my clients.
Awesome.
Do you hear me?
Wow,
and
that is awesome.
I.B Fitting Well was born, and I have been an entrepreneur since then. That was in 2018, December 7th.
Oh, wow.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yes, honey.
Like how a lot of times that's what happens. Like somebody will get fired from their job. Most times people talk about it's corporate. So you get fired from your job and then you go live your dreams, or you go, you know, launch a business, entrepreneurship, and hopefully live your dream. So that's such a great story, because you get to use your gift, something that you love, you converted it to fit what you could actually do, because you couldn't bodybuild anymore and everything. Fine. Like you said, it is kind of a God thing. So
100%.
100%.
I mean, said today, I mean, I kid you not, as the minute I started walking, I tell people I leapt. When Steve Harvey said jump, oh honey, I took a running start, and I was like, shoo.
Yeah.
Head first.
Yeah.
That's amazing that you were able to do that, because I think that, I know that is the hardest part for a lot of people. So one of your sayings, refill the well. Tell us what that means.
We are constantly pouring out. The minute your feet touch the ground, you are pouring out onto something, whether it's your job, your babies, your bills, whatever. You're constantly exerting something out of yourself. But what we don't do as often as we give out is we don't give ourselves that same energy back. Meaning we don't sit with ourselves. We don't intentionally take time to breathe, literally, to just take a breath, or to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, you fine. You did great today. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, and to quiet yourself. So to refill your well is to literally refill the cup that we're constantly pouring out of, and pouring out, and not refilling that. So I think it's extremely important, especially in the Black community, to learn how to pour into yourself, because we know how to pour out. We've been doing it for a long time.
That's true.
So it's about time that we create a culture, like you said, to pour into yourself. I'm trying to change that narrative. I call myself Harriet Tubman of fitness, y'all. We pulling everybody out.
That's right. I love it. And
like that,
I mean, and to that, with you bringing up the African American community, it's so many isms and myths and different things like that, things that generationally many African Americans believe. You know, I've had conversations, I know you probably have too, Al. I know you have, Kaela, where people say, well, I'm predispositioned to this particular thing because my mom had it, or my grandma, or my dad, you know. And so I've always been a person that's like, you know, I'm this particular age, and I've never had, you know, because I'm 40 plus, so I've never had high blood pressure issues. I've never had diabetes, type 2 diabetes issues. You know, I know the type 1 thing is a little different. I've never had high cholesterol, which are all common, you know, hypertension and all of that stuff, very common in the African American community. And so can you speak to that? What are your thoughts on habits and lifestyle and also the mindset, the things that we accept? What are your views on that? I know it goes across the board from one to another. So what are your thoughts?
So I'm going to play Mythbusters right now, guys. All right. And this is how I kind of pop that huge generational bubble. Our ancestors did not have the privilege to have high blood pressure, to be overweight, to have things like these things happen to us, right? Because they were constantly working, constantly outside. I mean, these people were working and looking ridiculously fit with little to no healthy things to eat. Okay?
Right.
These people are eating scraps. So we literally have been, quote unquote, genetically modified to be fit, to be athletic. Why else is the NFL, NBA, the baseball teams, even golf now, tennis, every single thing that has to do with our track. Oh my gosh. Everything that has to do with our physical abilities it goes back 450 years. We have literally been genetically modified to be the most fit people on this planet. And we prove it time and time and time and time again. What's our excuse?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And about that whole generational thing, oh, I'm so sorry.
No, I was gonna say it just reminds me of, you know, I've told people this too, like you have had enslaved people who had to work and were beaten to work more than machines to be able to beat the cotton gin. What is the I can't remember the lady's name, but she was able to pick cotton with both hands at the same rate, more than the cotton gin. So, you know, you were forced to evolve that much. Your body was forced to, you know, evolve that much and that's how we got here. Yeah, definitely. You know, that's why we have the athletes. Yeah.
Why is it that our minds haven't caught up with that yet? Is what I'm trying to figure out. That's why I'm doing the whole wellness thing where I'm like, no, it might not look like it right now because of where we're at, but up here, if we can change this and almost like remember what we're capable of, oh my gosh, could you imagine?
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
Yes, I mean, it's a matter of reconditioning all the way around. Like we definitely have to be reconditioned.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
So is there a specific diet or something that you just swear by, or do you or you just believe in, you know, eating healthy and not really following any trends?
So I do not follow any trends. I do believe that you have to. I always tell my clients, like, make healthy decisions. You know, like if you look at the back of this box, like, and then also make yourself aware of what measurements actually look like.
Yeah.
If you see milligrams on a box, go get a you know, like a jar or something and actually measure how many milligrams that looks like. Matter of fact, I have one that I would like to show you. Give me 1 second. It's right here. Perfect. No, because I tell my clients this all the time. So this is a milliliter. This is a milliliter flask with 250 milliliters in it, correct? Right, that's the approximate. There's 12 milligrams in each milliliter, all right? So if there's 250 milligrams in something, do the math. That's like this much salt up to this line. Now, could you see yourself taking a spoon and eating that? No. So why would you eat it in anything else?
Right. Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, just but it's also, again, you gotta get once you understand what it is that you're reading, it becomes more of a like, I'm gonna just cook this, this chicken, and I'm gonna stick to this for a little bit, because you start to really understand what it is that you're putting in your body. So yeah. I don't follow any trends. Use the food that you're consuming. That's my rule of thumb. If we're gonna be doing cardio, eat your pizza, baby. Eat your pizza. Because we're about to do this 2-mile run. So go ahead and eat your pizza. But tomorrow we're gonna do core. So stay away from the pizza. Eat your salad, because we're trying to help this area. It's just use your food, like.
I love that.
Yeah. Yeah,
use
don't
your
count
food.
calories.
Yeah.
Oh God, ew. Who has time for that?
So when you were talking about looking at what's in it, you're basically telling people when you're purchasing things, read the labels so that you can be aware of what you're actually ingesting.
Yes.
I'm educated by, if you need to have a visual, getting a flask or something like that, measure, so you can see what you're actually consuming. I love that you don't necessarily follow any trends because they come and go, you know, and they don't work across the board either.
No.
So you have, so for me, okay, so I don't eat much dairy, and I'm a vegetarian. So a keto lifestyle does not
wouldn't work for you.
Work for me, right?
No.
And so I can't jump on the keto ever.
No.
What would I be eating? Like barely anything. And so
no, it's all red meat and cheese for them. Like you
right, like and I don't, that negates anything that I do with my life. So and then every now and then I'll go vegan. That's one of the things that I believe in not following trends, but living a lifestyle where you do detoxify, like you do take things out every now and then to build a level of discipline. Like you're like not forever. So like, you know, the whole thing, I may say I'm not going to eat bread for like 2 weeks, but then, you know, I'll eventually have a cutoff and eat bread again. So I love that you don't follow any trends. I personally love that. Al, what do you think?
Thank you.
You ever follow a trend?
I think is really hard because you get people who I see so many people get in so many arguments that try to shame people for what they eat. Like, oh, I'm a vegan and you eat meat, you killing animals and you're abusing animals. I'm like, and I try to tell people, I was like, God didn't give me these canines just to, you know, chew up celery.
Okay.
Like, you don't need canines for celery. Like,
you're funny.
So, how do you help people find that balance? If you have someone who's like me, I love vegetables, but I don't even eat a whole bunch of meat, but I don't want to say I'm going to be vegan, because if I want a hamburger, I'm eating a hamburger. You know, and a lot of times I might eat a bean burger. I like bean burgers too. You know, so how do you help somebody find that balance?
The way that I set up our workout or our schedule really is you eat depending on what you're working out that day. So it allows you to eat just about everything just on specific days, and you don't even realize it because you want to stick to, you know, you want to stick to this kind of plan. So for example, just to kind of give you an overview, you got arm day, leg day, HIIT training, and core. You have your yoga and your cheat day. That's 7 days, right? Mm-hmm. So 2 days you're chilling. You got yoga, you chilling. You can do whatever you want on yoga day and on your cheat day. Those are your 2 days. Excuse me. However, on arm day, you're sticking to, you know, like things like rice, you know, protein, things like that. If you don't eat meat, you can switch it out. So instead of eating chicken, you can have an extra serving, two or three extra servings of beans, or some type of lentil, or some type of something that will actually give you protein. I mean, there's protein in broccoli, you know, like you can do that.
Kale is my favorite. I love kale.
There we go. It's so good in eggs. Like
it is a superfood. I love kale. Yeah.
Okay. So if you're doing an arm day, eat high protein, low carbs. You're trying to cut down. You're trying to shape up and build up muscle. If you're doing a cardio day, eat your pizza, baby. Eat your pizza and your bacon, because you're gonna burn that thing off when you're running and jumping and doing all kinds of stuff, right? You're gonna use that as energy. You're not using that as more of a builder. You're using that to actually burn off energy. So it really depends on what it is that you're going to be using this food for and when you're going to be eating. So if you do like to eat a lot of breads and things like that, eat them in the morning so that by the time dinner time comes around, it's all burned off anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
I love it.
Yeah, I like that you say eat pizza on your cardio day. Yeah. I like that. I've never heard that before.
Well, and that's why. Go ahead.
You're only gonna eat it 4 times a month if you just eat it on your cardio day.
Right.
That's 4 times you're eating pizza out of the 30 days. 4 days.
Yeah. But one of the things to Al's question, so people already feel chastised because of the fact that I say that I'm a vegetarian, right? Or I say I'm gluten-free. It's just naturally people feel judged. So those people that are like beating people up for eating meat and stuff, I never understood that. I don't do that. And so back to the African American community, and then just Americans, honestly. Overall, with this whole, COVID-19, not being able to go to the gym, probably many of us not eating very well, using comfort foods as fuel.
Pizza every day.
Yeah. I mean, when you go to the store, if you're looking in the aisles, it's like, oh, everybody eating mozzarella sticks now.
No.
I'm noticing certain things are wiped out that weren't before, because people are choosing to get more comfort foods than, because you're not going to work. You're not necessarily meal planning as much as you would because you're home, just different things. And so I know people's habits have changed. Y'all don't lie, you've seen people's bellies that were 6 packs getting a little bigger. It could be your own. So,
business is booming, baby.
Right, and so that's what I was going to ask you. Are you doing any sort of virtual or any sort of things to help people who aren't able to get to the gym to continue to stay, well, and then also meal planning and stuff with COVID-19 in mind? And then any suggestions for people who have the fears of proactive wellness?
Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh, these are all great. So, again, we're playing Mythbusters, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, guess where some of the fittest people live?
Where?
In jail.
Yeah.
What did you say, Al?
I said, I was thinking hot weather, California, or,
She said in jail. Yes, baby, in jail. Because what else are you going to do? Read, work out, and sleep. I tell people that all the time because I'm like, you do not, you don't need anything outside of yourself to be anything that you want to be, whether it's fit, whether it's a fireman, whatever. Everything that you possibly could need to get to the whatever outcome that you want is already here. This is a gym. If you are blessed with a space that is about the size of you, something that you can lay in, you've got a gym.
I love that. I love your energy, and I love all the tips that you have given. It definitely gives people a new perspective. As we're kind of closing out, can you share your social? How can people get in touch with you?
Yes. I am on Instagram. It's I.B Fit and Well. That's my company. However, it's Indigo Bhalai Fit. So it's indigo, like the color, Bhalai, like my crazy last name right there, Fit, F-I-T. And you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and I should get a Twitter account, but I don't really know how to use the little thing yet, but I should be there yet. I do have a lot of workout videos as well on Instagram that you can do and follow along at home. They're super simple, super easy, and they require 0 weight. So you don't have to even buy anything. As long as you have a towel to sweat on, you're good.
Nice. I love it. It's been such a joy to have you. When everybody who's watching or listening, please make sure to go and check her out on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Make sure to go. You can find her information because we'll tag her. So if it's just easier to go to Coffee and Collaborations, you can go to Coffee and Collaborations on Instagram and Facebook and find her. Of course, check us out at www.coffeeandcollaborations.com to find out more about what we are all about. And make sure to follow us as well and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It has been wonderful. We're going to go ahead and close out by letting you know that Coffee and Collaborations is moving. We are excited to collaborate with more and more people. 2020 has not stopped a thing. And you look at the collaboration with Al, you look at the people that we have had on the show, and what we're doing next in August is going to be so much fun, but we have one more show left for our Health is Wealth Month. So if we can provide anything, you have any ideas for us, please email us at info@coffeeandcollaborations.com because we do want to hear from you. So Al, you have anything to say to wrap?
I just want to say thank you guys for joining us. CNC family, we will definitely see you next time. Thank you for being part of the family. Thank you for joining us for each episode. And make sure to tell us, how you feel about each episode. How do you feel about our guest today, who we really want to thank for coming out, Kaela. Love the energy. And definitely tell us, when you reach out to Kaela, how did it go? But we all know that, coffee and collaboration is, we want to emphasize that it is important that we put the tribe before ourselves, because we want to win. All of us want to be successful. So we know that the coffee is optional.
But the collaboration is essential to your win. Have a blessed week. Take care.
Bye.
This has been a Coffee and Collaborations media production. Follow us at coffeeandcollaborations.com, on Twitter at coffee in the letter N collab, on Instagram at Coffee and Collaborations, and on Facebook at Coffee and Collaborations. See you in the next episode.